When the comics come around, you have great power. You have many comics. But with great power must also come
great responsibility.
All right, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Okay, let's get this party started. Woo! My name is Nick Lowe. I'm the Spider editor at Marvel, and I got the greatest job in the world being Peter Parker's boss. I get to yell at him like J. Jonah Jameson, so I practice. Come on, Parker! All right, joining us today is the writer of the X-Men, Gerry Duggan. Also joining us today, one of the writers of Guardians of the Galaxy, Colin Kelly! Welcome aboard. His partner in crime, the other half of the Guardian sandwich, is Jackson Lanzing! Welcome. Making his Marvel panel debut, we have the writer of the upcoming Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant, Saber Pirzada! Let's make him feel at home here, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Let's make him feel at home. Saber! One of my dear friends, and one of the best writers in the business as well, the writer of Amazing Spider-Man, Zeb Wells! We have one of the preeminent editors in this business. She edits the Voices Project. She edits a bunch of awesome X-Men books. Sarah Brunstad! Next, we have the man with the ukulele who doesn't have it with him today. We have the man with the greatest mustache in comics, ex-editor Jordan D. White! You know him, you love him, the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, the man to talk to if you go anywhere in the world and you need a good place to get an amazing meal, Mr. C.B. Cebulski! Excellent. This is your panel. Now, like I said, we will be giving away this special limited variant edition to Amazing Spider-Man number 29 that Leinil Francis Yu and Sunny Go did. It's going to come towards the end of the panel, so stick around. I mean, who am I kidding? No one's going to want to leave with the amount of stuff that we've got to talk to you about, and when we get to Q&A period, right? All right, so I'm still all fired up. Jerry, I hope you're ready. Jerry, I hope you're ready.
I'm here, I'm ready.
Okay.
3 coffees in.
The fall of X is here.
Here we go.
Jerry,
Hellfire Gala.
what on earth is the fall of X?
It is, autumn is coming, and we are, without spoiling too much, the mutants on Krakoa have enjoyed a really long winning streak, and I think it's safe to say some of the winning is over.
Yes. So this is the cover to the Hellfire
Phil
Gala.
Noto.
Yep, Phil Noto. What a wizard. An art wizard. And this is amazing. Jerry is joined by a murderer's row of artists. Adam Kubert, Luciano Vecchio, Matteo Loli, Russell Dauterman Russell Dauterman, ladies and gentlemen. He's
the
incredible.
Russell pages are incredible.
Javier
They're
Pena.
all incredible.
R.B. Silva, Josh Cassar, Chris Anka, Pepe Larraz, and this amazing Phil Noto cover. And you are not ready for it. I'm going to tell you right now, you are not ready for the Hellfire Gala.
Less than a week away.
Less.
Till this punches everybody here in the gut.
Gird your loins,
But
they say.
between that Hellfire Gala issue and Iron Man 8 the same week, it's 92 pages. It's basically an event in a can. I think it was one of the most complicated undertakings we had, right?
That any human has undertaken.
Yes, that any.
Like,
you think the moon landing was complicated?
Yeah. The Great Wall of China is
No.
awesome. However, the Hellfire Gala, just gotta say. No, but it's an awesome issue. It is so intense and so awesome and so beautiful, and I love it. And it sets up the fall of X this August. Here we go. It spans the X-Men books, right, Jerry?
Spans the X-Men books, involves Iron Man, who, as you know, will not enjoy watching his technology be co-opted for nefarious reasons, and the whole line is affected. The events of the Hellfire Gala will reverberate through the entire universe and create the reason for Steve Rogers to reform the Unity Squad.
Yeah.
So we have Avengers and X-Men together fighting forces of evil, and not all of the full cast is not revealed on that Uncanny Avengers cover. So, oh, and in the middle there from Kale, that's the Mark Nill stealth suit. I miss the old days of a briefcase armor, so Tony is hiding the fact that he is Iron Man in Fall of X, and that is the new stealth suit with some new capabilities.
And a new costume for Kate Pride, aka Shadowcat.
There she is.
Any Kitty Pride fans out there? You're in good company. There's some big Kate Pride stuff, but that's not the only big stuff we've got coming, Jerry.
Oh yeah.
I think we need a little mood music. Would you guys like a little mood music? Oh, a little loud. Well, here we go.
Oh my God.
With the wedding, you need wedding music, right? So,
So-
Jerry, who's getting married here?
It's the wedding of two people that can't stand each other. We've all been there, hopefully in the audience and not up at the altar. Look, this is a real thing that we're doing. It will make perfect sense when you get there. And not only, if you are repulsed by this, I can promise you, you will only want more come August, September, and October. So Fall of X kicks off in July. They are getting married. It will make perfect sense, I promise. And we have a wedding and a honeymoon to look forward to. Honeymoon issue is in the can, as they say.
Well, I mean, like, they always say before you can love someone else, you have to love yourself. And I would say those two are the people in the Marvel Universe who love themselves the most, I think, right?
Yes.
So they're ready to love each other.
Of course. Look at them. Look, they can't take their eyes off each other, and all their former lovers are there to wish them well as they descend into the new hell of marriage.
I mean,
They just invited them all out of spite.
yes. And this cover by Lucas Werneck is just so glorious. Lucas
Lucas has been a star for us for years now, since he stepped in on Marauders, and it's been a thrill to watch him go off to Immortal and all the wonderful things that he's done. What a talent, a murderer's row of talent. We would not be able to do any of these stories without them.
So
But a true joy to see this stuff.
So it unfolds over X-Men 26 and Invincible Iron Man number 10, and it is just incredible. And then I'm going to segue out of this into something even more intense. I love this cover. X-Men 29.
Wow.
Jerry and Josh are back with Doom's X-Men. What do you mean Doom's X-Men? Doom doesn't have X-Men, Jerry.
Well, it turns out he does.
What?
He was keeping it on the down low. So yeah, we have not peeked into Latveria for a while. I don't want to give away too much, but I will say the X-Men discover that there are mutants in Latveria, and when they go there, they seem not ideologically aligned with the X-Men. A lot of fun, a lot of new characters, a lot of new mutants, and of course we have Victor there, who has his own agenda. And Josh obviously put so much love into these pages. We really can't wait for you to meet these characters.
I hope in the credits you all take the Von, like Jerry Von Duggan, Josh Von
That is
Pistara.
Good idea.
I'm stealing that.
Jordan, go ahead.
I was just wanted to point out a couple other fun things about this that you might not notice at first because of these cool new characters. You got obviously you have Kate in her Shadowcat costume. You got Ms. Marvel there in her new costume, which is fun to see on.
I
cover.
think she's dead though.
Well, we'll have to read the Hellfire Gala next week and see what you're supposed to.
Yeah, Jordan, do you read Amazing Spider-Man?
I've heard of it.
Well, we'll get to that later.
And then I also did want to point out that Wolverine in his yellow and blue costume, which we haven't worn in a while. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is. It's interesting. Logan has been very busy in the last few years, so I haven't had much of a chance to write Logan. So true joy to bring you X-Men 29. That's in December.
That's so awesome. And like you said, the Unity Squad is getting back together. We have Uncanny Avengers. Any Uncanny Avengers fans out there?
I didn't know we were showing
Yeah.
these.
Yep.
How about that?
So So we've seen the number 2 and number 3 before, but Uncanny Avengers number 4 cover, this is a debut. No one in the outside world has seen this cover before. On sale this November. But I love these covers, especially that number 3 cover in the middle with the hole through Deadpool and the Fenris twins.
Yeah.
Their hands for it.
Oh man, the Fenris twins are so awful, and they're so great to write. They are so much fun to write. Hey, this book is really important. It's hard to talk about this book, although this book shows you a lot. It almost looks like Days of Future Now. They're in a lot of trouble after the events of the Hellfire Gala, and we're going to give you Whiplash. So a lot of your favorites are going to show up here, and we have some really crazy reveals to come before December.
And these covers, of course, are by Javier Garrón. We have an ongoing competition in the comics industry for nicest person in comics, and Javier Garrón is almost always in like 1, 2, or 3. Just one of the nicest people in comics. Jerry's like number 45.
Wow.
Sorry guys. Maybe
Not
next year.
wow.
Maybe next year. Saber's like number 4. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. I'll take it.
That's right.
Well,
All right.
I also did want to mention, there was a great teaser for what happens at the gala and sets up Uncanny Avengers. If you read the Free Comic Book Day issue, the X-Men and Avengers Comic Book Day issue this year, and if not, it's coming out again. I forget. Well, yeah, Marvel number 0. We'll reprint it for everybody if you didn't get a chance to check that out.
And I think it is on Marvel Unlimited for free.
There you go.
I believe. So if you haven't checked it out, it's a really fun issue that has 8 pages of X-Men, 8 pages of Uncanny Avengers, and the beginning of a long emergency.
Awesome. All right, Jerry, wonderful job. You may
I'm a
rest.
wrap.
See ya. No, Jerry, you have to stay around. Okay, up next, any fans of a certain spacefaring team called the Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, you are in luck because Colin and Jackson here, along with Kev Walker, have kicked off such an incredible run of Guardians. These are the covers of 4 and 5. These are completely insane. That is an enormous Groot holding the Earth like a marble.
Yeah, it's a real big Groot.
What is happening, guys? What have you done?
You will discover soon. Starting in Guardians number 1, we introduced the idea of Grootfall, that being a mysterious and largely evil-seeming Groot that seems to be landing on planets, terraforming them into Groots, and seemingly killing everything on those planets. The Guardians are down to a, thin squad. What is left of the Guardians after this Grootfall has obliterated most of what they had built in the previous incredible run by Al Ewing. And so we are now looking at the Guardians in their most desperate time, right? They are effectively lone cowboys on this endless frontier, just trying to stay one step ahead of Grootfall and save the people they can save. But what is Grootfall? How did it come about? What tore these Guardians apart and what is going to bring them back together? That is all going to come together in Guardians of the Galaxy 6, easily the most important and sort of seminal issue of this run.
Alex Lynn's doing amazing work.
Wait until you see what Alex Lynn's is doing on this book. It's insane. And out of that sort of pivot point, the second half of our run is going to sort of blow open, and it's going to be a very different book after issue 6. As you can see, as our two of our very, very favorite characters, Wiccan and Hulkling, join
Wiccan
this
and
book.
Hulkling fans out there? Yeah.
It's huge for us. We met reading Young Avengers. That was the thing that really bonded us as fans.
We literally met in college and used to drive to the comics.
as best friends. So getting to bring Wiccan and Hulkling into this book is a kind of great full circle moment for us.
It was very exciting.
That's awesome. And these covers, of course, by the incredible Marco Cacchetto. What a genius. He just is finishing up his Daredevil run now. He's here at San Diego. You might see him walking. A huge Italian man. He is like an Adonis. He's amazing.
So if you see a big guy, just walk up and speak Italian to him, and if he
That's
answers
Marco.
back, it's probably
It's
Marco.
definitely Marco. And we have a debut here to make as well. We have a cover by Emilio Lacio to Guardians number 8. Check it out.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's dope.
Though they all look wooden. They all look very wooden.
They do look really wooden. They do all look really wooden. That's weird.
Really weird.
I wonder why.
Oh,
That's bizarre.
read the book.
What a
We gotta
strange
move on.
choice.
I think we gotta move on. It's too scary. It's too scary. Now that's not the only book you guys are writing for us. We just announced, I believe this past week, the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah, baby. Thunderbolts.
Justice.
Yep.
Lightning.
And this is the debut of the Terry Dodson main cover that you see there on the left. It is U2 and Geraldo Borges with this cover by Terry Dodson, this variant cover by Mahmoud Asrar. What is the story with this new Thunderbolts? They look pretty familiar to something else that's coming up relatively soon, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes coincidence just kind of works like that. One of the cool things, some of us, hopefully a lot of you have been reading our run on Captain America and enjoying it, I'd like to think.
So good.
Thank you very much, Nick. But what we really wanted to do is kind of continue some of those threads. So obviously you guys know that we've been dancing with Bucky for quite a while now. We love our Bucky Barnes.
He's just been through his villain era.
He's been through his villain era, which is leaving him really on the kind of forward foot in terms of momentum. So what we want to do with this book is we're taking a lot of that kind of energy that he's had, right? He's going to be building off of everything he's gone through and realizing that there are some things that you just cannot let stand, right? If you are going to step out there and you are going to be the hero that you know you can do, sometimes that means taking out evil before it gets started.
And so what we're looking at is a Bucky who's got a modus operandi a little bit closer to the Punisher, but with the large-scale abilities and enabling capacities of things like S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury and, every great espionage character in the Marvel Universe at his beck and call. So alongside a new sort of retake on the Contessa Valentina de Allegra de Fontaine, there's too many D's, that's Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, apologies. He's going to be effectively, in each issue, calling at least two of the people that you see in this image. This book is not a book where all of these characters are going to show up every time and be in a clubhouse and high-five each other. These are not the Avengers. These are loners and strangers and shadow characters who are stepping into the shadows one by one and taking out evil permanently. So, I don't know if you can catch how extremely dead the Red Skull looks on the cover of issue number 1.
But that's issue number 1.
So
Where do we go next?
check that out.
And thank you guys so much. There's one more thing I need you to talk about, a brand new announcement for this panel. You are also writing this year's installment of Timeless. It's the U2 along with Juan Cabal with this amazing cover by Cale New. Last year's Timeless introduced stuff that's going on in the Avengers. The previous year set up Act's Judgment Day. So big stuff is coming in Timeless. Talk to us about who these people are we see on the cover.
Welcome to the dark future of the Marvel Universe. At the end of time, one hero remains. He wields the powers of Iron Man, the will of Khonshu, and the very machine of the eternal Earth. He is the immortal Iron Man. I'm sorry, no, he is the immortal Moon Knight.
We're so excited.
Sorry, Jackson.
The immortal Moon Knight who sits at the end of all of this, holding it on with Khonshu's will. And there is only one person who can stand against him at this end of time. And that is a person that we all know and love, Luke Cage.
The master of the immortal weapons, the wielder of the powers of the century, now using his discipline to hold both in perfect synchronicity. The blood of the Hulk courses through his veins, and in his fist is the last remaining vestiges of his friend Danny Rand, the Iron Fist.
Oh my God.
Power Man versus the immortal Moon Knight. Timeless number 1, coming later this year.
So cool. These designs by Juan Cabal are so cool.
How cool are they, my guys?
I can't wait for this book. Thank you all so much for talking about it. Now, many in this room, you probably know that in Amazing Spider-Man number 26, the heart of the Marvel Universe died. Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, died saving the world. And just 2 weeks ago, we released Fallen Friend, The Death of Ms. Marvel, along with many of the creators that made Kamala who she is. You may not have heard, you probably heard our next big news that just dropped recently as well, that she's coming back. She's coming back in Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant, and we are so lucky to be joined here by one of the co-writers of that Saber Prasada, and he is being joined by Ms. Marvel herself. Iman Vellani is coming to write Ms. Marvel. Unbelievable. So Saber, now y'all might not know this. Saber was in the writer's room and one of the writers of the Ms. Marvel series on Disney Plus. And so, right? So good. Woo! And so when Iman wanted to come in and join us, Iman and Saber already knew each other, so they came together to co-write this. Saber, can you tell us a little bit about what it's like, what the differences between working on the show and working on the comics is?
Yeah, I mean, we all came into the show as big fans of the comics, so that was always our North Star when we were figuring out what the story was going to be. But we did know that it had to fit within the greater MCU continuity, and that was a really fun challenge to figure out how that was going to work. And then the moment Iman joined, all of a sudden everything took on a whole new life and a whole new collaboration now that we had the right person who just embodies Kamala inside and out. And I've had the fortune of working with a lot of really talented actors and performers. It's very easy for me to separate out the performer from the character, except for Iman. Every time, I'm talking to her, I have to catch myself and so I don't accidentally call her Kamala, because she just is Kamala.
So awesome. And so we've seen that image in the previous slide, but these we're debuting these covers by Sarah Pichelli. Here's the cover to number 1. She's at Empire State University. What? What's happening,
Kamala
Sarah?
going to college? Kind of. She'll be there for the summer, undercover on a mission for the X-Men.
And here are the covers to number 2 and 3. They were classified for months as we were building up to these announcements. But we're so pumped. Is she in the danger room on that second one? She got danger roomed, Jordan. She got danger roomed. And so cool. And then what's going on with Jubilee, Gambit, and Rogue there, Saber?
I don't know. You may have to ask Jerry. I basically run everything by him first.
You know what? This is one of the jewels of Fall of X. It's a great comic, and you guys hit the ground running in a frankly a storm of characters with their different orbits, and it's been a joy to watch you guys crush it.
And so Iman and Saber are joined by Carlos Gomez and Adam Gorham on art. And these are the covers. And to give you a little bit more of a taste, we are debuting a trailer for Ms. Marvel, The New Mutant. Sale this August. Thank you so much, Saber, for talking with us about that. Okay, anybody reading Spider-Man comics? I learned about this new Spider-Boy?
Oh my God, yeah.
So in case you didn't know, in Spider-Man number 7, at the climax and the culmination of the end of the Spider-Verse, a new character came out. But is he new to the Marvel Universe? There's all kinds of mysteries behind Bailey Briggs. And those mysteries will begin to be solved with Spider-Boy number 1 by Dan Slott, Paco Medina, with this incredible cover by Humberto Ramos, and this awesome variant cover by Chris Campagna. November 2023. Now this character, I've been in comics for 21 years, okay? I've been in Marvel for 21 years, and I've never seen anything like the fever behind the Spider-Boy character when he debuted. Thank you all for embracing Bailey and Spider-Boy. We have such huge plans for him. Dan Slott is, I've almost never seen him this energized about this character. And we've got all kinds of incredible plans coming up for Bailey and Spider-Boy. And we can't wait to share that all with you in November. So please join us there. Okay. Giving you time to warm up, Zeb. Hope you're ready for the hot seat.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh, coming up in just a couple weeks, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Why is Tombstone wearing a tuxedo, buddy?
Because his daughter's getting married
Oh, wedding bells.
to Peter Parker's best friend.
Yeah, Randy Robertson, anybody?
Randy Robertson, maybe you've heard of him. And things don't go exactly as planned. And they go so bad that the repercussions will lead into our big crossover later in the year.
We can't talk about that yet, Zeb.
I'm sorry.
We can't talk about that yet, man.
But, you know, people have been asking for so long, like, you know, why do you hate love? Why do you hate romance? Why does the Marvel Spider-Man office hate weddings? And we're giving them a wedding, the wedding that they want.
It's true. But this issue is huge. It is the main story is huge, and then we have all kinds of teases in it as well. Some stories that we're teasing for Amazing Spider-Man, some that we're teasing in other Spider books. There's we'll be talking about something else, a different part of it that you get your first taste of in ASM 31. And the last few pages are going to tease something that we're not even going to talk about here. You're going to have to pick up the book to get it.
And how many pages is it, Nick?
It's 80 pages total.
80 pages.
It's a beast of a book.
Because it's Legacy 925, correct?
Yep. Legacy number 925. We celebrated with 925 issues ago, and we're blowing this one up for the wedding and for all these huge stories that are coming up in the Spider Office for the next 12 months and more. And that leads into one of my favorite arcs we've done yet. These are great covers by John Romita Jr. The interiors are all by Patrick Gleason. Number 32, 33, and 34. What is happening here, Zeb?
Well, I said when I started this that I would not do my version of Craven's Last Hunt. But as you've learned, Nick, I don't have any integrity. So we came up with an idea that we thought was just too fun to leave on the table. So I can't say why this happens, but Peter Parker gets into a very bad mood. And so when Craven starts sniffing around again, he's not in a mood this time. So it's kind of a reversal of Craven's Last Hunt.
Yep.
And we have
Spider-Man's first
Spider-Man
hunt.
going after Craven in a very brutal way. And then the culmination of the story really deals with a lot of the threads that have been going on in the entire run and
Yep.
spin us off in a new direction. So it's an exciting arc. Pat Gleason is doing the art and he is nailing it. It's
Oh my
incredible.
God. And we can't even show any of it because there's too many spoilers.
And we are going to get Spider-Man back in that black costume for a little bit.
Yep.
And
And there's some more scariness here. Like, I don't know what is happening on that image on the left. And I don't even think we could talk about it, Zeb. I don't even think we talk about it. But on the right, that's Ed McGuinness art right there. Because Ed McGuinness is returning to Amazing Spider-Man as well. He is the yin to John Romita Jr.'s yang. They are our home art teams in Amazing Spider-Man. And did anyone read the Dark Web arc of Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Right? We debuted a new character in there who's coming back, y'all. You ready for him?
our boy Rec Rap.
Yes! Anyone out there know Rec Rap?
He's so happy.
So happy. Rec Rap is Parker backwards, because he's a demon from Limbo who's obsessed with Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and he is back. And on that cover number 38 is a terrifying new creation of Zeb and Ed McGuinness that is one of the scariest new villains you will ever meet.
Yes, Rec Rap makes Ed so happy. So please buy it so that Ed can keep drawing Rec Rap, because I don't know what he'd do without him.
We got so many surprises coming up in this book, and it is all leading bit by bit by bit to our Spider event of the year that kicks off in November and December. It is called Gang War. There's a gang war brewing ever since number 1. Zeb, can you give us a little tease for it?
Yeah, so Tombstone was in the first arc of Amazing Spider-Man. Love that character. Johnny loves drawing him. And there's also, Johnny has done a lot of Spider-Man, and he did a lot of the gang war stuff in the 80s. And so we wanted to go back there and do a ground level Spider-Man story where Spider-Man has to get his hands dirty, New York goes crazy, it's on fire, and he has to protect the entire city.
Yeah.
Put together a team.
It's true. Well, and it all kicks off in November. There's a prelude issue of sorts called Amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike that Zeb has written. We have Joey Vasquez, who did some Spider issues for me a few years ago and then went off to Marvel Studios for a couple of years to work on some projects there. And we drew him back. This is an amazing cover by John Romita Jr. there, and Joey's doing incredible art on the interiors. And you'll see some of our crime lords and ladies at the bottom there. Some you haven't even met yet, but the city gets set on fire. The city goes to HE double hockey sticks, as they say.
The world needs more crime ladies too.
Yeah, crime ladies,
Why
a lot of
not?
crime ladies
I love it.
are in there. So this, also in November, like the scope of it, you'll begin to see the scope of what this gang war is, as we also launch some series that are going to tie into it. Starting with Luke Cage Gang War. Any Luke Cage fans out there? Yes, yes. Bringing this issue, we are so glad to have Rodney Barnes back writing for Marvel. He writes this incredible book, Philadelphia, which if you haven't read is incredible. He's being joined by Ramon Box with this amazing cover by Kanan White. It launches this November. The first issue sets the tone for the series. Reminds you what Luke Cage is, the mayor of New York City, if you didn't know. Luke Cage is the mayor. He's been since the end of Devil's Reign. And we are so excited to be launching this new Luke Cage book. But that is not the only thing we're launching this November. Are there any fans of a character named Jessica Drew out there? Woo! Ah, excellent. I've come to the right place then, because we are launching a new Spider-Woman series just in time for Gang War. It's being written by Steve Fox, who's been doing some great work in the X Office. Awesome writer. Drawn by Carola Borelli with incredible covers by Lanil Francis Yu, and it kicks off in November. You get your first taste of it, and this is what I was referring to as Amazing Spider-Man 31. Kind of a prelude to this series happens there. Steve Fox wrote an incredible short story that is an Amazing Spider-Man 31, and it sets up this series. It is a kind of back to basics Spider-Woman series. It is action-packed. It is dramatic. It puts Jess in a crazy, tight spot that only Jessica Drew could possibly get out of. Wow. It's such an incredible...
That looks great.
Oh, it's
Hey, Jordan, when is Dark X-Men?
Yeah, Dark X-Men. Dark
Is that
X-Men
November?
starts in August as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Steve Fox, that book's incredible too, so
Absolutely.
it's going to be the mayor of the fall.
Yep. So cool. And it's not just Amazing Spider-Man that's tying in, as you're seeing from the cover that's in your hands. One of the other main characters of Gang War is Miles Morales. Any Miles Morales fans out there? Yeah. We have, I'm so proud of the book that we have in our current Miles Morales Spider-Man. Cody Ziegler is our writer and doing incredible work. He's usually joined by Federico Vincentini, and Federico's coming right back. We'll be talking about him a little bit later too. We have Partha Pratim stepping in for art on issue 12. That's setting up Gang War in Miles as well. But it all leads to December, when Gang War truly begins in Amazing Spider-Man number 39. John Romita Jr. is back. He is drawing all of the Gang War issues of Amazing Spider-Man. And Zeb, you were talking about Team coming together?
Yep, check them out. We've got Spider-Woman, Elektra, Miles, She-Hulk.
That's rad.
And keep in mind, I write all of these myself, okay? I'm not like Sabir. I don't have Tom Holland on my shoulder, like pitching me ideas and Tobey Maguire proofreading for me. I gotta do this stuff myself, okay? And I want credit for that.
She have barbed wire wrapped around her knuckles.
That's right.
That's the coolest She-Hulk.
She's ready to
flex
go.
ever.
She's
Everybody
ready
else is like, I had to buy a weapon, and She-Hulk's like, I didn't. I
Yeah.
love this.
And it's so good that Johnny is already complaining about how many characters he has to draw.
Yes.
So like we are punishing this man. So there's a lot of cool action.
Johnny keeps calling me like, You gotta promise me a snowstorm next time. They're in a tundra, no backgrounds.
Kev did that to us. He was like, we got 3 issues into Guardians, and we are like, Kev, there's going to be a huge space battle in issue 5. And he said, then there can be nothing in issue 4. And so we wrote issue 4 of Guardians, came out a couple days ago, which is just Rocket Raccoon being sad alone on a desert planet for 20 pages, and it worked out great.
You don't like it, blame Kev.
Hey Zeb, what does She-Hulk say when she punches you with the barbed wire?
I don't know. Do you have a pitch?
I don't know. Maybe you do need Tom Holland. No.
I didn't know I'd be improvising.
How about the defense rests?
Hey,
Forever.
I'll take it.
The defense?
Yes. Because you put barbed wire on a fence, you see.
I'll sit down now.
Now you might recognize this cover. This cover might look a little similar. We couldn't help ourselves. There's a John Romita Jr. cover. I'm gonna quiz you on it later. So think about it. Come up with your guesses later. I might let somebody who thinks they know it call it out later, okay? But not yet. Not yet. Because we're not done with announcements yet. We're not even done with Gang War announcements. Because we are also launching a mini-series of The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. We're so excited. Greg Pak is coming back to write. This is an incredible foil variant cover by Benjamin Su that is coming out. The covers are by David Aja, and it launches in December just in time for Gang War. Shang-Chi fans out there? Yes. Make sure you talk to your local comic book shop. If you don't know where yours is, comicbookshoplocator.com. You just go get there. And I mean, we love our comic book stores. They are the salt of the earth. And so we are so glad to have them. So make sure you add this to your pull list. And we still have some stuff to talk about here because we are also launching a Daredevil Gang War miniseries because there's 2 Daredevils in the Marvel Universe right now. Who can tell me who this one is?
Elektra.
Yes. Any fans of the Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cacchetto run out there? Yes. Woo! They're gonna finish strong. And Elektra's not going anywhere. Elektra as Daredevil. Erica Schultz is writing. Sergio Davila is drawing. That launches with Gang War this December, as there is a job that only Elektra can do as part of their strategy to stop this gang war and make New York City safe once again. I was talking before about Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Here are the covers by Federico Vicentini, who's returning for the Gang War issues here. Anyone see who the villain might be at the bottom of that cover to number 13?
Prowler.
Yes, Roderick Kingsley. We used him in Amazing Spider-Man recently, but that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning. He is coming for Brooklyn. He is making his big play. Any Hobgoblin fans out there? Absolutely. Hobgoblin is as he was a big part of the original Gang War, he was a huge part of this story here. And it looks like things might not be all hunky-dory for Miles and his uncle over there either, huh? Aaron the Prowler returns. Well, here's the scope of Gang War. Like I said, November stuff is kind of like a prelude, and it sets it up for December, January, and February. It is huge in scope. It is, if Dark Web was our big mystical limbo insanity, this one brings it all down to earth. Very street level. Anything I'm missing, Zeb? Anything else you want to talk about Gang War?
No, I think you got it. We're very excited about it. We're throwing everything at this story, and by the end of it, we will be in a completely different place than we started in, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, now I'm gonna put the quiz up. Hey, everyone, remember we talked about this cover. Do we have any guesses for? Yes, you right there. Well, you got it! Uncanny X-Men 210! No prize for you. Well, she gets more than a no prize. She gets a yes prize.
I was gonna say that's a yes prize, right? Yeah.
We have a special variant, super rare variant cover. Only about 25 of these were printed. I'm going to bring it down to you.
Wow.
I have no idea.
Boy, that added like a few more questions, I figure. That shaved a lot of time off. I wouldn't have gotten 210. I knew it was that cover, but...
So it's one of my favorite covers
I
of all
love it.
time. I love that cover so much. Okay, now coming up next, are there any members of Marvel Insider out there? All right, if you're a member, get your phones ready because I'm going to do what we always do with these panels. I'm going to put a code up there. They go fast. There are a lot of people in this room. Again, keep it to yourself. Don't just send it out to people out in the world. Let the people in this room have a shot at it first. Are we all ready? Here we go. So there it is. If you're not a member of Marvel Insiders, please, you got to go and sign up. It's a great program with all kinds of incredible rewards for you, having to do a lot with Marvel Unlimited and all kinds of different things. So this is a code. You get 10,000 points. Awesome. All right, everyone got it?
God, Nick, I love points.
I know points are great.
God, I love them.
Points.
I mean, I'm not much of an athlete ever, so I never scored many points. So that's why I love Marvel.
You know, this is how the Immortal Moon Knight got started. He just got obsessed with points, and then more and more and more points. And then by the time he got all the points, all the other heroes were dead, and all the points belonged to him.
Oh man.
Timeless Merlin.
I love it. All right, I'm gonna leave it up because now it is time. We've been talking a lot, but now it is time we want to hear you talk. So there's a microphone in the middle. Please start coming forward. You can form a line. You come on. You can ask us questions. I want a disclaimer here. A disclaimer here. We are Marvel Comics.
ask about Captain
Now some
America
people here do stuff with
750.
studios, but we are not. We cannot answer questions about the movies or the television or the games or any of the other stuff. We're here to answer questions about comics. So please come right up and are we all friends here? Yeah. We're all friends here, right? Come on, can I hear it for friends here? Yeah. Friends. Now what I like to do here is when you come up and you have a question, please state your name, and if we could just be so kind to say hello to our friends with a quick hi and then their name. So what's your name?
I'm Shamidan.
Shamigan?
Shamidan.
Shamigan. They get it? Okay. Can we say hi, Shamigan? Hi, Shamigan. Welcome to the panel. What's your question?
Okay, so my question is, what is your ultimate goal that you would want to obtain from your fans to feel when reading or holding a physical copy of your next book?
So what is your ultimate goal for a fan to be feeling when they read your book?
Yeah.
Okay, we have our wonderful writers here. Jerry, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I think our gold standard is to make you feel something. You know, we're entertainment. We're very good at knowing we have 20 pages. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a lot, but we want you to feel like you were both entertained. And whether it's feel horror, feel joy, we want you to feel something.
Yeah, 100%. I want you to be able to look at our books and feel yourself. Wait, see yourself.
There you go.
Story. You know,
There you go.
Write yourself in there.
That's why there's two of us.
we
Rewrite.
all have a sad raccoon inside of us, and I want you to see that little boy.
Yeah, I actually I got asked this question just 2 days ago by an artist I really respect, Nicholas Draper Ivey, and he was like, "Why do you write?" I was like, "It's a really crazy question, man." And he was like, "I know my answer." So I'll tell you Nicholas's answer because I thought it was better than mine, which is he was like, "I just want to make them cry."
We do want your tears.
I always want to pass along the same feeling that I had every time I picked up a comic that I remember to this day, and it's just this anticipation of having your mind blown and then it delivering in the most surprising way to you by the time you're at the end of it.
When I would read comics when I was a kid, I would bring a stack home from the comic store, and there were always those 2 or 3 that were on top that you wanted to read really quickly. And my goal is always, I just desperately want to be in the top 2 or 3 on the stack when someone brings those home. I want them to want to read it, you know.
Sarah?
I think I love us to see a combination of storytelling through action. So something like Mad Max Fury Road is a perfect example of a film that tells a very emotional story through the action itself. And I think comics can do that in a way that a lot of other mediums and a lot of other reading prose can't do that for you.
I would say I want to be able to work on comics that live with people for a long, long time. Because again, my favorite books, I think about them still even decades after I read them, and I keep going back to them in my mind and rereading them as well. And it's really great when you can achieve that, when you can edit something with these books that readers say they keep revisiting again and again, and they love it.
You know, kind of what's been said before, you know, for younger readers, I want them to pick up any Marvel comic out there and be inspired by it. And then for older readers, I just really wanted to make you feel like you're a kid again.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for leaving a purposeful footprint.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Mark.
So you guys are actually the perfect segue. You talked a lot about feelings and wanting readers to have those big feelings. And some of the biggest feeling-inducing moments in comics is the death of a character. And every character is somebody's favorite character. So when you do decide that character has to die, what is your process? What kind of things go through your mind, like when you decide, okay, this needs to happen?
I guess I think I killed someone most recently, and
You were a
yeah, I think that a character's death can be a very special thing, and it should be the culmination of their character, like who they are as a person should directly lead to choices that lead to their death. It should always, it should have just happened to them. That's no fun. No one wants to see that. You want to see them make the ultimate decisions. What decisions do they make